All that we see around this, we're zoomed way in, 400x, is a bunch of organic matter too, being held together with those glues secreted by these bacteria and fungi, held together by the fungi, and being consumed and broken down into plant available nutrition by these microbes.
Hello, George, Fat Ninja Food Forest. I'm making an extract right now. I've got the new greenhouse going outside. Redid all the beds, filled them back up, and got them going with the homemade soil. And it's dried out a little bit, so I want to give it a good watering. I'm going to go ahead and make a compost tea, but it's not a tea. I'm not going to bubble it. If we make a tea, we're shooting for multiplying those microbes that are going to be in it. Instead, we're just extracting them here. Taking this painter sack from Lowe's, leaving it in the water for an hour or so, mixing it multiple times. I have added some lab extract, lactic acid bacteria. I've done videos on that using rice washed water to collect that, mixing it with milk. Look at my channel for that. So I'm just going to take a quick sample, go put it on the microscope before I put it on to see what it looks like, make sure it's what I want. And by what I want, I mean lots of bacteria. They're going to be present in that thermophilic, mesophilic stage. They're very present through the worm system. But I'm also looking for that fungal component. That's why I use the fish hydrolysate, processed fish, cold processed fish. I didn't use molasses. And I'm not bubbling it necessarily to multiply them. I do want to see if I have that next level in there. So there's the bacteria and the fungi. I want to have plenty of those. The next level, I want a protozoa in there as well. I know that my compost kicks ass. So let's go have a look. Take a sample. I've agitated it. It's giving me this nice colored tea. I'll let that set. Go have a look at this under the microscope. As long as I'm happy, then I'll apply it. Let's have a look. All right, we're at the microscope. I prepared a slide with one drop on there. One drop onto this slide. We'll see what we see in a single drop of water of this compost. All right, I've got the slide on. I've done a look around here at 400x. I've looked at the whole slide. I didn't see any nematodes. That's what I looked for out at this level. I'd also look for the structure. We're seeing lots of organic matter. There's some nice fungal strands in there. So now we'll zoom in and see if we can find any. We know we'll see lots of bacteria. We want to find some protozoa at that next level, hopefully. Let's have a look. We'll briefly stop at 100x. So a nice piece of fungal strand right there, actually. Fungal hyphae. That's going to be I believe I just saw a protozoa. We'll go into 400x to see if we can locate a protozoa. There's one in the background here. It's going to be a shelled amoeba next to a nice piece of saprophytic fungi, most likely. We see the hyphae in it, the sections of this fungi there. So we're seeing the bacteria, the fungi, the protozoa. I haven't seen any nematodes, but it was just a single sample we're looking at real quick. I'm not seeing any bad guys. Another real nice piece of fungi there. What I'm not seeing is any spirilla. That would be a type of bacteria that does like an S-shaped motion, showing us an anaerobic environment. So we have the bacteria and the fungi in the bottom end of the food chain, the food web. And we see those, the dots and the rods around here, no spirilla being the bacteria. And the fungi, we can see spores. I haven't pointed out any spores yet, but also these segmented hyphae. Here we got a real nice look at it. Oh, geez. Something happened there. Did I bump the slide or something move? So there we can see a really nice segmented piece of fungi. Those are the septa, individual cells of that fungi. This is most likely a saprophytic fungi, a decomposer fungi. Finding in the compost like that, it's not going to be arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi. It's not going to have a connection with plant roots. But it's still a wonderful thing we want to see in there. We want to see these, and that's a spore, a fungal spore we're seeing next to it. Some more really good life we're seeing in this small sample.
I'll keep looking and stop back. I'm guessing this was a microarthropod of some sort. You can see the segmented body. Look, it's decomposing now. We're going to see the bacteria on it. So we're looking for a real good look at a flagellate in there. Looks like a little globe spinning around. We're going to see a tail. That's the flagellum off the back. It's hard to make out. I'll zoom in and out a little bit through the layers. Change the color a little. There's different shapes and sizes we see, but quite often they look like this one. So that's another one of the protozoa. We got the amoebas, testate, and naked. Now we got this flagellum, or this flagellate with a flagellum at the back of it, the tail. As close as I can get, I'm in at 400x. So yeah, we've seen bacteria, fungi, and the protozoas. We've seen shelled amoeba, testate amoeba, and this flagellate. These are all wonderful signs of what we want to see in our compost teas. I haven't seen a bunch of ciliates, which would look like this, but with a bunch of flagellum around the whole thing, and they move very fast. We might have seen one. I haven't seen spirilla bacteria. They move in like a Z shape or an S shape, more like a snake. All we've seen is the dots in the rods. Those are the smallest things that we see in the screen here. And those are going to be cocci and bacilli bacteria, and that's what we want. Again, bottom of that chain is the bacteria and the fungi, the decomposers. And feeding on them is this flagellate here and the testate amoeba. Above that, microarthropods, nematodes, all the way up to arthropods like spiders and roly-polies. So I feel pretty good about this compost sample. I'm not going to bubble it. I'm just going to have it go for this hour, doing an extract, not a tea. We're just extracting all these all these microbes that we're looking at. I'm trying to extract these microbes, these fungi, these bacteria, these protozoa. And I'm sure there's nematodes and microarthropods in there. Get those into that water, and water the grow beds with those so they can go to work in there, cycling those nutrients for us. All that we see around this, we're zoomed way in, 400x, is a bunch of organic matter too, being held together with those glues secreted by these bacteria and fungi, held together by the fungi, and being consumed and broken down into plant-available nutrition by these microbes. I'm George, Fat Ninja Food Forest. Change to be better than a holiday. Peace.